How are you all doing? It is Sunday. It's the 19th of the 1st, 19th of January. How fast is this year going? We have a nice little show for you today. Got some great feedback from the show from last week, and we also got a couple of alts that we're going to have a look at today. So welcome to the Sunday Swingers Show, episode 2. So anyone who hasn't tuned in last week, how this works is the first half of the show is here with you, the public, and we run through anything that you see on the right hand side of the screen. We run through that on YouTube, and then at the end we've got the rest of it for our members inside the ProTradersLounge.com, where we're going to cover a good few bits and pieces. So as I said, we got some great feedback from the show from last week on X, on YouTube, and inside in our own Discord as well. So yeah, how are you all doing? That is the question. How is everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So just to run through a few bits and pieces that we have today, this whole thing about Trump, what do ye think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Trump is going to pump this whole market, or is it going to dump this whole market? Tomorrow, the big news, or the big day for Trump is coming in. Let us know in the comment section. Do you think it's going to pump, or do you think it's going to dump? Let us know. If we switch over here, you can see that 54% of people on our X platform think that this is going to dump the price. What do you think? Let us know. Get your comments in, and we'll have a look at that Trump coin as well at the end of the show. So let us know. Do you think it's going to Trump, or do you think it's going to dump? After that, we had some requests come in from last week. There's an important one there I think I'm going to touch on. It's Baby Doge. That came in from Loopy Lou 8200. So Loopy Lou, we're going to have a look at Baby Doge for you today. We also, anybody who missed out on it, Netso done a bonus stream during the week on Zill, on the altcoin Zill. Check it out. That's a really good setup on the cards at the minute. And then to set off the end of the show here on the public YouTube, we have Mr. Trader R with his alt of the week. Last week he covered XRP. Let's see what he's going to cover this week. Is it going to be XRP again, or is he going to look at something different? So that's kind of the running order of what we have for today. Let's throw that away. So yeah, Trump. Is he going to pump the market? Is he going to dump the market? I'd like to know. As I said, at the end of this show, we're going to have a look at that coin, the official Trump coin, and see can we pick anything from it. Obviously, it's been pumping like crazy, so it's hard to pick levels from it, but there still is ways to do it. So we will have a look at that. So let us know in the comments what you're thinking. Is it going to Trump, or is it going to dump? Then I think what we'll do is we'll move on to Baby Doge. As I said, Loopy Lou requested it last week to have a look at Baby Doge. But before that, I want to run over what's coming up next for our members at the end of the show. So if anybody wants to tune in and get these the Sunday Swingers for the members, go to ProTradersLounge.com and get your membership. So what we have is golden indices. We have myself on golden indices. We also have Netso on altcoins again, and then we have the one and only Mr. Yunez, who's going to cover Elliott Wave and his Bitcoin swing trades for the week ahead and further afield as always. So if you want to have a look at that, go over to ProTradersLounge.com and be sure to get a membership, because anything there in the grey section is for our members only. But we still have loads to share with you, so let's get into it. Let's have a look. Baby Doge. Baby Doge. I think before we get into having a look at the analysis on it and what we're looking at next, let's have a look at where we came from with this. Let me have a quick look here. I'm just going to pause this music and let's have a quick look at where we came from. This is a quick little video from, it will be 2022, where it all started, where we found Baby Doge in the first place, and then we'll kind of move on there. We'll do it really quickly. It's not going to take up much time. So let's have a look at that. It's not the same. It doesn't have to be. But as I always say, close enough is good enough.
And that was just by eye, because I remember that. So if we're going to get this fractal in play, now again, I will just, now I'll have to chop it up a little bit, but it could be something similar. Should we sweep those lows? You know, I would be setting alerts down there. Should we sweep those lows, that we could have something similar. So we'd be looking for a swing failure of that region there on baby Doge. And we could, again, it may not happen now, it may not happen tomorrow. Like this is saying January. Again, I'll do this properly. I'll do this properly when we get off the stream, but similar price action, similar kind of feel to it down at this low. I don't know much about that coin, but dropped down and we're going sideways since May 22, 6 months.
What's volume like?
Very, very similar. Volume.
Because I always look at volume.
Oh, look at the volume.
Yeah, it's not dying, is it? It's just...
No.
No,
Look at that. It's increased. So it would be nice to flush down to the lows, and like look at those cells. Those cells were absorbed straight away, and they were big cells absorbed straight away. Price hasn't dropped yet. So for something like this, take out those lows and then off to the races.
So as you can see, that was baby Doge back in, I think it must be January or sorry, it must be November of 2022. So what we're going to look at, that was this area here. If you've seen, I pulled the fractal there and we got that big move down to the lows, and we were expecting that, and we had to move up to the highs, a total of 1200%. Now, where we were looking for that, again, it hit that TR pocket perfectly. You can see here, pivot high, pivot low, came down into the TR pocket, perfect for a bounce, and rallied, if we have a look at it, 1200%. Just under 1200%. Well, no, yeah, 1200%. And now it's kind of been doing this whole sideways thing. So we need to have a look at what do we think is going to happen next. Okay, so it was, I'm going to show you the next fractal update I gave. So when price was here, we'll have to switch to a different account for this, but back in August, the 9th of August of last year, I was given that, given a new fractal to the guys. So remember, this area price action was the first fractal. We got that 1200% move. Now, that was an aggressive 1200% move. Here's where you could have got in, still 400% move. Me and H. Paul and one or two others got in right at the low. So, move on to August. That was back in November 2022, and then we move on to August 2024. And you can see here what we were looking for. We were looking for price to, to make its way down and on time in that blue box to come down, get a bounce. We were looking for a deviation and we didn't get it. But, we still have to be open to those deep lower highs. And anyone who's in Pro Traders Lounge and know what the El Jefe is, or any of them deeper fibs that we use. So that didn't throw us off guard that we didn't get the low. If we switch over here, let's have a look how this thing played out. Okay, we'll flick between two. So you can see here at the time, we're waiting for price to come down into that low or into that region of time, and then to get the move up. You can see price moved up, got an impulse, consolidation sideways, then another push up. Okay, and if we go over to where we are now, so price got an impulse as we were waiting for, an impulse, sideways price action, and then another push up, which we got here on the fractal also. Now the difference here is obviously we took out all the highs, so we're getting a bit of a pullback here now. So if it does follow the fractal, and you don't usually get a fractal to follow through the whole way, so we've got enough out of it at this point, in my opinion, that we got the timing of the move up, we got the sideways price action, and we got the secondary move up. So now if it was to follow the fractal, it would want to go sideways before another move up. Now this is where we're going to have to add in some TA on this. Okay, So I like to look at this at a couple of different exchanges, just to see. Some of them have obviously more volume than others. You can see here on CoinEx, it has that big heap of volume just sitting right in here where we are right now. Okay, so we have price just sitting on that big point of control after coming down and tapping that big point of control. In contrast to that, if we look at, you know, this is BitGet where we were trading it at the time. If you look at BitGet, and we'll have a look where that point of control is, it's right down at the lows. Now we do have a nice little high volume node sitting in here where price is. The price is sitting on that high volume node at the minute. Let's type that in. So we're bouncing on that high volume node. So you can see here from just looking at BitGet that if it doesn't hold on this high volume node, now deviations are okay, but if it doesn't hold on here, drops, gets a back test, it's a big enough fall back down to that big point of control. The one thing that is giving me some sort of hope with it is the fact that CoinEx, it's kind of the highest trading volume here on, it has been for a while. That could have since changed, where we have this point of control sitting on price action right now. Also, if we go to Bybit, so if we have a look at Bybit, and this is actually areas that we're marking out inside in the group the other day. So you can see we have a point of control on the 786. It came down, gave a real bounce, a nice bounce on it. The other day, what I was saying to the members is, if it comes down into that gray box and gets a bounce, this is where we need to look, you know, look for positions. Because if it starts to drop from there, you know, as I said, things can get a little bit nasty. So let's have a look. So Coinbase's point of control is here again. So a key level for baby Doge. So what am I looking for? Let's go back to the fractal. So if we look at the fractal, we can see here we spent a lot of time here before we start, you know, curving around before the big move. In terms of putting in a low in and around this region. This could be the, you know, a right timing for a low, but it doesn't have to put in a low. This is an idea. You know, we're also ready that if it comes down, we know there's big points of control down at the low, points of control down at the lows as well. So we have to keep open-minded with this. But while we're at support, we will start to look for positions. So I'm gonna go back to CoinEx. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, I'm in a position here from here. This is what we planned the other day inside in the group. But let's say we do start to move up here. Like, just because there's a really nice fractal there, that doesn't mean that I'm going to hold, because I have a position here, I'm not going to take profits. I'm absolutely going to take profits. I'm going to be looking to come up here and take profits at that value area high again if it does get up there. Because this could simply be just a place for a lower high, some sort of, you know, head and shoulders type move for a drop further down. So do take profits. One thing I will say, where can we look for setups here locally? Let's have a look at the volume. Have a look at the volume on all of them. It's got a nice reaction at that high volume node. I'd be leaving it. I would leave it build up and I would look for a higher low here. You know, if it does come down, you still have that value area low down here, but I'll be honest with you, in terms of volume of what I would use to trade would be a whole lot less, you know, if it was to come back there. So holding above this, in my opinion, the fractal is still in play. Drop a load, we have a big drop to the downside. So what will I look for? What will I look for? Through these. I would go real local on this. So I'm down on the 30-minute time frame here, and I will be looking at this area of balance at the least. We could even bring it over another bit before it drops back down. You know, the safe bet, if you're looking for buying spot and getting into a swing trade on this, is waiting for it to come back in, get back into that range, and then trade it level to level, taking your profits at the value area high. If it flips it and flips that value area high, then you look for another position or compounding to that position, but definitely taking profits, because as I said, this thing can just drop. If it drops past that big high volume node, well, then there's a big drop to the downside, or sorry, the point of control, big drop to the downside. Keep that in mind. But again, could be very interesting, and this is coming from, I suppose, for us, we're sitting down in long positions from down here or down here, you know, so we're, as in here, so we're in you know, we're in position, so it's to look to compound the position, so you don't have to rush into doing that, to be honest, which I think time is on your side for this one to start at least curving a little bit. So if there's any questions on that, please do let me know in the comments. But I would say you're playing that local, definitely playing that local volume. Even if you want to add it back and pull it back another bit more, another bit further back than that, you know, you can bring it right back to this whole range up here. You know, but a big area to hold. As I said, don't be afraid of that value area low down here, but if it does come down to that value area low down here, it needs to be a fast move. I need to see that being ate up, bought up really quickly, and starting heading back up over that point of control. Honestly, that's the way it has to be. So that is baby Doge. Let's have a look at it again from the perspective of the fractal. Okay, now remember, this does not mean buy it now because it's a nice fractal. As I said, I'd be very... Fractals play out nicely, but they don't play out fully. As much as I've been trading them, you know, they don't. And Trader R is a big fractal trader. He'll tell you the exact same. So I would need to, I think, spend time here. Form a range. You're after just coming up and taking liquidity from all the highs. Leave it come down and settle in here. You know, in terms of time, you could put in the same amount of time as what you have here before it would take off. Okay, so there's no need to rush. But I would keep it on your watch list. So, that is that. Yeah. Is there anything else you should be looking at in terms of this? No, not really, to be quite honest with you. I think that's enough. I really do think that's enough. I know I've said this already, lads, but check out Netzo's bonus video on... He posted it during the week on YouTube on Zilcoin. It's a must-see. Definitely one to watch, and a great setup there as well. So let me think. What am I looking for? If you have any questions, do please put them in the comment section. And if you have any requests, also put them in the comment section. Put your requests into that comment section, please. Also, for anyone who wants to learn any of our methods, as I was saying, what we have coming up this week, like we have me on gold and indices. At the minute, I'm trading a lot of a future strategy that I've been just trading it over and over again with any of the futures markets. With gold, you can use this with gold, with oil, with Nasdaq, you name it. Once it's a futures market, this strategy is honestly running every pivot, and using that in conjunction with your own TA is brilliant. So coming up this week in Pro Traders Academy, and if you want to check that out, go to protraderslounge.com this Wednesday, and for the rest of this month, from the 15th, from our month runs 15th to the 15th. So from this fiscal month, from Wednesday onwards, I'm taking over Pro Traders Academy to run through my future trading strategy with the members. If you want to be a part of that, just head on over to Pro Traders Academy by going to protraderslounge.com, and you can see there you can get the Pro Traders Academy membership, or you can go and get a Pro Traders Lounge and Elite membership, or a Pro Traders Lounge and Academy membership. It's called the Elite membership. It has the both of them in a package. So if you're interested in that, fire over to protraderslounge.com, and I will be teaching that on Wednesday. So what do we have next? What do we have next? Do we have any more requests? If you have any more requests, please do put them in the section below on YouTube in the comments. And don't forget, guys, to give this a like and a share. The more you do that, the more it helps us. Thank you very much. So what do you think? Will we have a look at Trump coin and then hand it over to the one and only Mr. Trader R? I think that's what we'll do. And then after that, we're going to close it down here on YouTube and head into our members, where, as I just said, we're going to have myself going over golden indices on my future strategy. You're going to have Netso on a couple of altcoins to find intra-week swings, and then the one and only Mr. Yunez going over his Elliott wave count and his Bitcoin swings for the weeks ahead. So again, if you're interested, protraderslounge.com. Let's have a look at Trump coin. What do you think? I think let's have a look at it before we head over to Mr. Trader R. This is the right one, is it? Let me know, am I looking at the right one? Seems to be the one. If it's not, I'll come on and do it during the week. I'm going to chart this one anyway. Disco lights, smoke machines and mirrors. It's a Friday night. It's hard to make a more gonna wrap you up. Really nice. Do you know what? See that fractal? Save that, because that's very like the one that I was just showing on Baby Doge. Watch. This one. Or the whole lot, to be honest. This. Let's check. Copy. Not far off. That is not far off at all. But you know what I like as well? Look at this section here. It reminds me of this. Anyway, sorry, that's me getting lost here. So that was really nice. We came down, bounced off the point of control up to the value area high, value area low, accumulation. Came up, back tested that point of control and off to the races. But how do you chart this? What do you look at? Well, anything that moves like that, you want to be looking at your deviation levels. So if we take a TR pocket, we'll have a look at a few different levels. You can see here on the TR pocket, it came down into the deviation, back into the range. Again, it's not perfect. I wouldn't be too much of a fan of it. But it is a legit pull with legit levels. Again, obviously this is hindsight, but we would have been looking at this if I was trading it. I don't really jump into too many meme coins personally. But you can see here, it came down perfectly, bounced off it, and then rejected it from the highs. So I'd be looking at this. If the high is not in already, if we put it on our first pull, which is this, sorry, that wasn't the first pull, that was it. You know, here you can see we're rejecting. So even if I pull back the whole way to that 34, let me mark that in, $34 mark, $38 mark. we'll get a bounce. If it drops back below that $39 mark, or is it 39? 39 to 36. If it drops down below that, you can be looking at that 0.5, which is down at $11. Let me see, can we get a fractal to fit it? Because it's reminding me of something. Nah. What that can possibly happen on BMR. You could get this the whole way back down to $3, to be quite honest. So 54% think dump. Going back to that TR pocket again. So let's say it's going. This is the area that you want to be looking for reaction. I'm telling you straight up, I am not trading this. I'm only doing this for the sake of doing it because it's all over the place at the minute. So a reaction zone. So what am I looking for here is if price comes back up and takes out the high, I'll look for a reaction. Look, we'll see. We'll trade it or not. So do we get a short from that if it takes out that level? Or if it flips that level, she can head on up. So after coming up into that TR pocket off a couple of different pulls, to be quite honest with you, second, lads. I just don't want to give away any secrets here. Okay. Then the other reaction zone up above that will be up at the 170 to up around the 200. So 156, I'd look for a reaction. Up to 183. So write that down. Two zones. If it keeps moving up, that's to the upside. Okay, so if it keeps moving up to the upside, you're going to look for a reaction here. Does it come up and reject, or does it come up and flip it? If it comes up and flips it, you know there's a good chance of it heading up to this next zone. To the downside, I'll be honest with you, this can go fucking anywhere. Back to that $36 level, as I mentioned earlier. You know, if we come down here, you can monitor it. If it comes down and tries to hold here, it could be worth a scalp. If it drops past that, it's at least coming to that 0.5. Okay, so that's it. Here are the zones on. I'll also post these on my X profile as well, with the levels that I'm looking at on this Trump coin. But this should be interesting. As I said, I've not been trading this or anything, but it's just everywhere at the minute. So let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Trader R, and then after that, we're going to close it down here on YouTube and head into our Discord. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button. If you have any requests or any feedback, please leave us know down in the comment section. And that's it. I'm going to leave you off with Mr. Trader R. Thanks a million. Bye.
What's up, folks? It's Trader R. How are we all doing, folks? Hope we're all doing well. The man Dookie has given us a bit of a show. We have a few bit to go over, I suppose. We have, since last week, we went over XRP. I said, since XRP didn't really do much right now, we did come up to our zone. We hit the TR pocket. We got a rejection. I did take this trade, right? Did take the trade, but I did take it in this range here. As soon as this happened, I took the short. We came up into the TR pocket and we rejected off it with the wick. That was a nice little confirmation for me to take a short, and I aimed for the old pivots down below. We had, you won't have the 2-day pivots in there now, but you would have the 4-day pivots and the 5-day pivots. They were all down below sitting here, and that was my target. It was an alright short for there. Closed it all. It was about 7%, yeah. What I am looking for now, I am still looking for this to come down, because you're going to have tonight you're going to have weekly pivots that are going to be down below. Those weekly pivots are going to be in around somewhere around here, still going to be below, but once you hit the TR pocket and you reject off it, you have a high probability of coming down to reach the range high, and from there then we'll see if it's going to hold. Usually if it's bullish, it would hold it with a wick. Then we all know the percentage of, if you hold the high with a wick, you will take out the current high that we've made. Sure, if we get inside the range, then we know there's an 80% probability of hitting the 0.5, and then we have a 75% chance to hit the quarterly pivots. So it's all about to see what happens this week. We have the Trump thing coming out. We have a lot going on. So, everyone says it could be bullish. We've been rallying towards the news on Bitcoin. So it could also be a leading for a bearish, buy the hype, sell the news kind of event. So we'll see what happens. I said I'd just touch base on this anyway. I didn't take another short, but if the opportunity presents itself again, I might take the trade. But for now, the way it looks, I don't have much interest in taking that short again. It's just the way it is. I don't see much price action in it for me to be looking for another short. If this came up and hit that again and rejected off it, I probably would be looking at it. Oh yeah, maybe. But no, there's other things to be trading. I'm still looking to see what happens here. I want to see if do we lose the range high and do we get back in and look for our quarterly pivots down below. I said, do we hit the monthly? We did hit the monthly, so it's just the quarterly sitting down here. Very interesting place, I will add. It is such a nice little interesting place to see what happens here, because once you run the one side of the triangle, you usually run the other side. And imagine if this news did come out as a sell the news kind of event. We came up and then boom, that would be kind of your buying opportunity then for your next move up. So it's interesting, something to keep an eye on. It's not a bad thing to have your alert waiting down here. Why not? For a swing failure pattern, just like I did there. But I said I'd touch base on LTC as well in the group, right? Someone was asking me to look at LTC. So LTC, to me, I was looking for this down here to come down and take this low, because this is a bad old candle down here on LTC. I just don't like it. It's too full. Whenever you have a full candle, you usually fill it. Across the board, most of the altcoins, they did nearly fill. Most of them filled it, and most of them actually came down and filled the majority of it. But this one, I would have liked to see fill. But as soon as we came down and took this low in the group, I was saying, you know what, this looks good. I like the look of Bitcoin here. So we drew this. I was looking for some kind of triangle here, move up and take this liquidity. Since then, it went up. I think it was around here. We went up about 40%. Then in 1 or 2 straight days, came up and took that high. So what I'm actually looking for is probably probably looking for the same thing, just a bit of a correction here and a move back down to the bottom of the triangle. So I'm looking for a lower high, I would say. Looking for a lower high, so the price action will probably have to give me some kind of 3-wave move here. You have a 5-leg down, potentially in any wave. You could be looking at a 3-wave and something like that. That's what something I would actually probably get involved in then. If we get a range low and range high, that to me then I would be pulling the TR pocket. If it was this, I'd be looking at probably the extension. But for now, we don't have a range low and range high. I need more data and I need more time on this. So I'm going to be leaving this one aside. This is the plan for now. I would like a bit lower. I don't need this in here anymore. Would like a bit lower, potentially into this area. Let me see, actually. Potentially into that area. Give me a lower high and some triangle price action, if you get me. Triangle price action. Yeah, you have a nice volume gap in here, actually, to be fair. Nice volume gap in here. Mark that in. You did after hitting it twice. Nah, I wouldn't really use that now. Just hitting it too many times. I would really like to spike up. Spike up and then lower high. That would be kind of my option here, to be honest. And what's this? Where's the point of control here? Not bad. So you do have something there. We just have to see what the price action does over the next day, and does it present us with a bit of a high and a low so we can get that move up like this. It's definitely some food for thought, something to keep an eye on. I'm going to put my red zone in here. And of course, it's not a full red zone as we need more price action to kind of tell. But for now, I'm going to just turn this off. Alright, make this yellow. I make this yellow. I like that area. I'm going to put some alert there as well. And I'm going to finish on EAT. Again, I'm not going to take up much of your time. I'm just going to run through a few of these things. EAT is what we've been looking at inside in the group. Pretty much covering it all the way through. I was saying in general chat. Alright, so Friday, I think it was Friday, we did a academy session. And I think Friday in the morning as well. I've been doing a session nearly every day. I was looking for this to come up and run the highs, and once it runs the highs, I'm not going to take the trade. I'm going to take the trade once we lose the high, and then I'm going to aim for the 0.5 and take the other side. We actually went up, we hit the TR pocket, we lost the high, shorted it all the way down to the 0.5. We even got a bit of a bounce here, right? I think this is where, Saturday, I did a session, I think on Saturday too. Saturday morning or something, and was it Saturday? I can't remember. I think I did a session Saturday as well, and it was a high and low. I was looking for this to come up and back test the TR pocket. I ended up shorting this again off of this TR pocket because I was looking for the range high, and it came up and gave us a nice little entry. It was a really, really nice, solid entry where you have your little inside in the TR pocket. Once you hit it, you have your little high that you lose and back test it. Perfect. Short that all the way down. Inside in the group, I was saying I didn't buy this, but it got to move up, and I said, I missed out on this, but if it comes down and swing fails a low, I'm going to get in, because it wasn't looking like. See, what I love is fucking consolidation before you come into the zone. I know we didn't get into my zone fully, but all I needed was a swing failure pattern of that range low. And what I was saying in the group is once I get that, I'm going to get in and we'll take that trade. And also on EPTC, we'll have confluence, because this is the area we've been looking at in the group. And once the two of them will align together, my God, she aligned very nicely. We actually got a really nice bounce off of that. Nice 10% move. Will this be each sign to wake up? That's the question. Is this where E is going to wake up? You could really have ETH waking up on this now, to be honest. If this is the low, which it could be, because if you look at it, like we had this massive curve, consolidation, pressure. ETH has been doing nothing since. If ETH wants to break this curve, you're going to see a really big fucking rally on ETH USD. So yeah, that's the reason why I didn't really care about this zone. If we got into it, fair play, but I'm not going to move it just to satisfy people. We get a swing failure, boom, we're in. Swing failure on this, then on the 4 day we're looking at this. It's a 4 day. 1 day, 1.5 days left, but if we get a 4 day swing failure, what was the volume like on this? Not much volume on it, but still a 4 day wick after that. It's crazy. It is crazy. So yeah, keep an eye on these over the next few days. If it keeps holding this, and if you want to keep real eye on it, watch the curve here. If it breaks this curve, you're going to be looking at a fairly big impulse up. Where would we be possibly looking at? Quarterly pivots were filled. We're going to have yearly pivots above us. Yearly pivots are in the opposite side of this range, so coincidentally it's literally up here. So what I'm looking for on BTC is going to be pretty much up here to fill these at the bare minimum. Okay, and that's really it, folks. I'm going to hand you back to the man himself, Shane.